Imagine getting a phone call from someone you haven't heard from in years. Not because they moved away, not because they stopped talking, but because they completely vanished. Now imagine answering that call and hearing their voice as if no time had passed at all. What makes this story even stranger is that the call was recorded, investigated, and traced. Yet the location it came from shouldn't have been possible. This is the story of the last phone call. The setup. In a quiet town, a family spent years searching for answers after one of their relatives suddenly disappeared. There were no clear clues, no confirmed sightings, no explanation that could tell them what had happened. At first, everyone believed answers would come quickly. Days turned into weeks, weeks became months, and eventually, months became years. Despite the passing time, the family never stopped hoping. Among them was the missing person's sister. Every birthday, every holiday, every family gathering felt incomplete. She kept old photographs, old messages, and even an inactive phone number saved in her contacts. Most people would have eventually deleted it. She never did. Something told her to keep it. Then, one ordinary evening, everything changed. Her phone began to ring. The screen displayed a name she never expected to see again. It was her missing relative. At first, she thought it had to be a mistake. Maybe a technical error. Maybe a prank. Maybe someone had somehow gained access to the old number. But curiosity got the better of her. She answered, and immediately froze. The voice on the other end sounded exactly the same. Not older, not different, exactly the same. The escalation. According to reports, the conversation lasted only a short time. The caller spoke calmly. There was no panic, no confusion, no sign that years had passed. In fact, the caller reportedly spoke as if they had only been gone for a few days. The sister struggled to understand what she was hearing. She asked question after question. Where are you? What happened? Why haven't you contacted anyone? The answers were strange. The caller seemed confused by those questions. At one point, they allegedly asked why everyone was so worried. To them, almost no time had passed. The call quality was clear. There was very little static. Everything sounded normal. Yet something felt deeply wrong. The conversation ended suddenly. The line went silent, and despite repeated attempts, the number could not be reached again. Naturally, investigators became interested. The family had recorded part of the call. Telecommunications experts reviewed the data. The call itself was real. It wasn't fabricated. It wasn't generated by software. It wasn't an edited recording. There had genuinely been a connection. Then came the most puzzling discovery. The call was traced. But the location made no sense. Different reports and accounts describe the tracing process slightly differently, but they all point toward the same conclusion. The signal appeared to originate from a place where the missing person could not have been. Some descriptions suggest the coordinates were linked to an area with no active phone infrastructure. Others claim the location was inconsistent with known telecommunications networks. Either way, investigators couldn't explain it. The data existed, but the source seemed impossible. As news of the incident spread, theories began to emerge. Some people believed the missing person had intentionally disappeared and briefly found a way to reconnect. Others thought the call might have been the result of an unknown technical anomaly. A few suggested there could have been errors in the tracing process itself. But supporters of the mystery point to one detail: the voice. Family members insisted the caller knew personal information that was never made public, details that would have been extremely difficult for an outsider to know, memories from childhood, private family stories, small moments shared only among close relatives. The more people examined the case, the more questions appeared. If the call was genuine, where did it come from? Why did it happen only once? And why was there never another successful contact afterward? Years later, those questions remain unanswered. Today, the last phone call continues to be discussed by mystery enthusiasts around the world. Some believe there's a logical explanation waiting to be discovered. Others think the event belongs in a category of mysteries that may never be fully understood. What's undeniable is that a family received a call they never expected. A call that briefly reopened a chapter they thought had been closed forever. A call that offered hope, confusion, and even more questions. And perhaps that's what makes this story so fascinating. Not the technology, not the investigation, but the idea that sometimes, when people believe a story has reached its ending, something unexpected happens that changes everything. So what do you think? Was there a hidden explanation behind the call? A rare telecommunications mystery? Or something that simply can't be explained? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoy true mysteries, unexplained events, and stories that stay with you long after they're over, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. Because the next story might be even stranger than this one. And until then, thanks for watching.